Hello and a warm welcome to you all. Today we pray that you help us in an international call for justice for Cuba. The world today recognizes the suffering of Ukraine and has created legal pathways to channel frozen Russian assets toward restitution and reconstruction. The WRM Council Legal Options Report makes clear that under international law, these frozen funds are not simply financial instruments. They are legitimate sources of justice for victims of aggression. If Ukraine can access them, so must Cuba. For 67 years, Cuba has endured a dictatorship imposed by the Soviet Union, cemented by Nikita Khrushchev's nuclear gamble and the 1962 Kennedy-Soviet Pact. This was not a government chosen by the Cuban people. It was forced upon them at gunpoint, with Moscow's backing, under the banner of the Comintern. Since then, Cuba's economy, its industries, its very infrastructure, have been destroyed. Havana lies in ruins, while Kiev, despite the horrors of war, still stands in far better condition. Millions of Cubans were dispossessed, exiled, or imprisoned. Families lost their homes, their businesses, their freedom, and their future. Today, Cuba is in the midst of a humanitarian catastrophe. The island suffers blackouts that leave it without an electric grid. There is no reliable drinking water. Food shortages are chronic and severe. What was once one of the most prosperous nations in the Americas now faces conditions that can only be described as Holocaust-level neglect and destruction. And yet, the world turns away. The same international mechanisms proposed for Ukraine, freezing and confiscating Russian assets, creating international claims commissions, issuing certificates of loss, and recognizing private claims, must be applied to Cuba. A Cuban Register of Damage should document the confiscations, the repression, and the exile. Certificates of loss must be issued so that Cuban families, like Ukrainian families, can finally hold in their hands an internationally recognized acknowledgement of what was stolen from them. There is no moral or legal difference between a Ukrainian family whose home was destroyed in 2022 and a Cuban family whose property, livelihood, and freedom were destroyed in 1962. Both are victims of the same aggressor state. To recognize one and not the other is to perpetuate injustice. Justice cannot be selective. If frozen Russian assets are a tool of restitution, they must serve Cubans as well as Ukrainians. To deny this is to abandon 11 million people to starvation, darkness, and despair. The world must act, not tomorrow, not in some distant future, but now. Justice for Ukraine must also mean justice for Cuba. And now, I ask you, do not remain silent. Contact every international organization you can, from the United Nations to the European Union, from the Organization of American States to every human rights body that claims to defend justice. Call your congressman. Share this video with policymakers, journalists, and key officials so that the Cuban tragedy is no longer ignored. From the death of the brothers to the rescue martyrs, to the betrayal of the Helms-Burton Law that became nothing more than a smokescreen, Cubans have been left to die in silence while the world ran out the clock on justice. That time must end. Restitution and the rebuilding of Cuba's industries cannot wait another generation. Your voice matters. Your action matters. Together we can demand that Cuba's suffering be addressed with the same urgency and recognition given to Ukraine. And don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video so that our call for justice reaches every corner of the world. And please remember, in these uncertain times, with so much division and so much anger, it may seem that our nation, indeed the whole world, is unraveling. So please don't forget. If today feels heavy or off, take a second to breathe. You don't need to crush it or get everything perfect. Just showing up is enough. Progress isn't always loud. Sometimes it's sending one email or doing one task that helps you move forward. Don't underestimate small wins. You've pushed through hard days before, and you will again. Rest if you need to, reset if you can, and remember that you're still moving forward. You've got this, even if it's slow, and any help you can provide us to achieve democracy and reconstruction in Cuba will be enough. We appreciate how things are, and we have faith in whatever small steps you can take to help end this totalitarian nightmare. Thank you for taking the time to listen. May God bless you all.